As a child, Heathcliff was found in Liverpool by the elder Mr. Earnshaw and brought back to the Earnshaw home to live. Mr. Earnshaw took a special liking to young Heathcliff, causing the other children, Hindley and Catherine Earnshaw, to treat Heathcliff negatively. After Mr. Earnshaw's death, Hindley became especially abusive towards Heathcliff. Hindley physically and verbally punished him, determined to break Heathcliff from his unruly nature. Catherine and Heathcliff become great friends. After Catherine hurts her ankle and is forced to stay at Thrushcross Grange for a few weeks with the Lintons, she returns to a dirty Heathcliff who is quite obviously ashamed of his filthiness. Hindley takes pleasure in Heathcliff's embarrassment while Catherine is left confused. She did not understand why Heathcliff acted the way he did towards her. Catherine and Edgar's relationship develops, and Heathcliff's negative feelings grow, causing him to become more stubborn and cold-hearted. Kitty Carlyle says, "This vengeful proclivity transfers to Heathcliff upon arrival and envelops him throughout his childhood. Heathcliff was taught, since childhood, to be vengeful and jealous."
Do you love Mr. Edgar?
Of course I do. Of course! Who can help it?
Why do you love him, Kathy?
Because he's handsome and pleasant to be with.
Bad.
Because, he's young and cheerful.
Bad still.
And because he'll be rich. And I shall be the greatest woman of the neighborhood.
Kathy. Is that what you really want? Well, marry Mr. Edgar then. Where's your obstacle?
Here. In my soul and in my heart, I'm convinced I'm wrong. And if my brother had not brought Heathcliff so low, I shouldn't have thought of it. It would degrade me to marry Heathcliff now. So you'll never know how I love him. My great miseries in this world have been Heathcliff's miseries. And I watched and felt it from the beginning. My love for Linton is like the foliage in the woods. Time will change it. As winter changes the trees. I love Heathcliff. It's like the eternal rocks beneath. A source of little visible delight.
Catherine was married to Edgar Linton for 3 years before Heathcliff returned. Isabella Linton, Edgar's sister, quickly fell in love with Heathcliff and despite Catherine's protest, eloped with him. Heathcliff planned to seek vengeance on Hindley and Edgar Linton. Heathcliff put Hindley to shame by purchasing his property and treating him somewhat similar to how Hindley treated Heathcliff as a child. Heathcliff wanted to punish Edgar for stealing Catherine from him. Heathcliff eloped with Isabella and began to punish her instead of Edgar. Isabella played no role in Heathcliff's past and could virtually be considered innocent. She was used by Heathcliff for revenge on Edgar Linton. Though he had one goal, Heathcliff spent 3 years away from Cathy, returning only to destroy Linton, but never succeeding in winning her back, only learning of their mutual love as she is on her deathbed. Heathcliff begs for Catherine's spirit to haunt him, again foreshadowing his future.
Look at me. I'm pretty. I'm a woman. And I love you.
After Catherine's death, Heathcliff spends the rest of his life mourning and longing for her, making those around him as miserable as himself in his unquenchable lust for power. When Isabella dies, Heathcliff retrieves his son, but not so he can love and raise him correctly. Heathcliff wants his son Linton to marry Catherine's daughter Cathy so he can inherit Thrushcross Grange when Edgar dies. Soon after their marriage, Cathy and Linton grow to like each other, but Linton dies rather quickly. Cathy has to now live by herself at Wuthering Heights with Heathcliff and Hareton, who treat her horribly. Heathcliff treats Catherine and Hareton similar to the way Hindley did when Heathcliff was younger. Heathcliff allowed his desire to seek revenge on his past enemies lead him to a future of angry solitude. His mistreatment as a young child affected the way he treated people throughout his life. The tragic love between him and Catherine affected every character in the novel negatively. Jealousy and vengeance are two characteristics that define Heathcliff's life.
Don't you see what he's been doing? He's been using you to be near me, to smile at me behind your back, to try to rouse something in my heart that's dead. You can't. Heathcliff's not a man, but something dark and horrible to live with.
Do you imagine, Catherine, that I don't know why you're acting so? Because you love him.
Oh, Heathcliff, why won't you let me come near you? You're not black and horrible as they all think. You're full of pain. I can make you happy. Let me try. You won't regret it. I'll be your slave. I can bring life back to you, new and fresh.